What's going on, y'all? Golden Era here, real name Jesus. I have about an hour and 30 minutes before I do some errands. And since payback is behind me now, I wanted to talk about what I'm actually really excited for. And that's Global Wars, which, like, I still can't believe is happening, and I get to go to um, ROH versus New Japan this weekend, this Sunday. What's the date? May 8th, I think? Yeah, May 8th at the Frontier Field House. I'm really like super excited for this show. Um, I may get a ride from my buddies, try to get there easier. But if my buddies aren't going, then I'll probably catch the bus because this is a yeah. I'm positive I'll catch the bus. This is a show. This is a must watch. This is like I don't even know how many ROH shows I've been to because when Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe were in ROH, and well, a lot of guys were in ROH back then. AJ and Christopher Daniels and everybody, basically. Like, there was a lot of names, Generico and, who's Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So, back then, I used to go, like, every single show. Like, every show that they had, I was there. So I think I may have, this may be, like, I don't know how many I caught back then, but this may be, like, my 10th ROH show. But it doesn't take away from my excitement for it. And, I wanted to give a preview for y'all and put up some pictures so you could see who's going to be there. You can see what the card looks like, and I'll probably be getting some pictures while I'm there. I don't think I'll be able to record video because they're like pretty strict about camera phones and stuff like that. But hopefully I can get a few pictures here and there. So without further ado, I'm going to run down the card here. Now, before the pay per view, because this is on pay per view, if you want to watch this from home, you can. I believe it's only $10. You could order it through basic pay per view, or you can order it through your PlayStation 3 if you have one. It's $10. It's at the Frontier Field House here in good old Chicago, Illinois. Although it's actually at Chicago Ridge, which Chicagoans will tell you that's not Chicago because it's kind of like a suburb of Chicago. It's not the city of Chicago. But personally, shit, I could get there in the bus in about 40 minutes to an hour. I count it. Fuck it. Same difference. Um, but before the pay per view even starts, this is a match that won't be on the pay per view, but I'm excited for it. The Women of Honor. We're going to have a women match, which will be Kelly Clean versus Crazy Mary Dobson. Now, I have no idea who these women are. I have no clue who these women are. But I'm still excited to see them live. They're obviously going to be on the dark match. They're starting to show off. So I don't expect too much. But I still wanted to see them. I want to see what they can do. I want to see what they bring to the table. And who knows, Ring of Honor used to do a lot of work with Shimmer. I don't know if they still do, but when you look at Shimmer's talent pool and some of the famous names that came from there, you got Natalia Neidhart, Beth Phoenix, Paige was there as well, and many others that I'm probably forgetting. So you never know. And these two women are supposedly good enough to start off the show, and I think they'll deliver. The last time I saw the women at Chicago Ridge was this crazy six-woman match that had like Lacey and Allison Danger and all these other women. And that card that had the women was probably the best card I've ever seen. It was Super Card of Honor 1. Uh, and then I never got to see women at the Frontier Field House again. None of the Shimmer women or the Women of Honor, as they're calling them now, would show up. So, because of that, I'm excited to see the women again, and it makes me hyped for the card because if it's anything like the last one, then this show is going to be through the roof. Okay, so the first card on the list here that's actually going to be on the pay per view is the legendary Juicin Thunderlike and Cheeseburger versus the Addiction, which is Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. You may know them from TNA, and Juicin Thunderlike you may know from NXT. Uh, I think he had a short run in WCW. Obviously, if you're a New Japan fan, you'll know him from there and the Super J Cups. Um, and I think I know I'm pretty sure he had a run in WCW, and I think he may have had a run in WWE, but I'm not too sure. I know he recently had a match against Tyler Breeze at NXT, and I consider Juicin Thunderlike like an absolute legend of the of sports entertainment, sport art, sport, the business, whatever you want to call it, for wrestling. And I'm honored to be able to catch him live. Um, when I found out that Juicin Thunderlike was going to be at the show, it felt like something I didn't know I had to cross off a bucket list that I can now cross off a bucket list. He also just recently announced that he's going to be retiring soon. He says that he feels like he has maybe 5 years left in the tank tops. So I'm honored to catch him before he retires. And not only that, but I'm catching him while he works with Cheeseburger, which should be amazing. It's honestly probably the match that I'm most excited for because I feel that it's going to be funny as shit. Um, there's this dynamic where supposedly Jushin Liger and Cheeseburger are friends, and like I mean, look at Cheeseburger. Just look at the dude. He's not a big dude, you know. I actually saw Cheeseburger once before, and it was good for some laughs, and it was just thoroughly entertaining because he's such a small dude. Then we got a 4-on-4 match. We got Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, aka the Motor City Machine Guns. Again, you would know them from TNA. And Matt Sydal, who you would know as Evan Bourne from WWE. And Kushida from New Japan Pro Wrestling versus the actual Bullet Club from New Japan of the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, and the Gorillas of Destiny, which are Tama Tonga and Tanga Roa. Loa is probably how you pronounce it, how they pronounce it in Japan. Now, if you notice, there's a lot of New Japan stars here. That's because Global Wars is the ROH versus NJPW pay-per-view. Both organizations have gotten together to make this card. So when they call it Global Wars, it really is. You know, it's Japan versus the US. But obviously it's a friendly rivalry because these two companies work together. And as a wrestling fan, you know, that whole America versus Russia and versus Japan is so fucking 80s. Like, that's so passe. So I'm just going there to enjoy the work of these fantastic athletes. Interesting thing about Kushida, which some of y'all may not know, he actually has an MMA record, and I believe he's 8-0. He's never lost an MMA fight, which is very, very amazing. The Young Bucks are going to have a super kick party, and you may know Tanga Loa from Lucha Underground, so he's going to be there as well. And I mean, it's the Bullet Club, you know, so there's going to be a super quick party. I expect this match to be at least a 4, maybe higher, and I expect it to be really fast paced and have a lot of action. I'm super excited for this match. Then there's a non-title match with Kyle O'Reilly versus Tetsuya Naito. I'm a huge Naito mark. I've been a Naito mark since I watched a few of the recent New Japan shows. I specifically love this promo with Jay Lethal, where they were trying to have a conversation, but Naito didn't know English and Lethal didn't know Japanese, so Naito's like, "Español? No hablas español?" And then Lethal's like, "No, I don't speak Spanish." It was hilarious, and I've been a fan of Naito since. He cuts all of his promos in Spanish, which doesn't make sense because he's Japanese, but that's his whole gimmick. He's part of a group called Los Ingobernables de Japón, which means they're ungovernable, and that's their whole gimmick. They don't fit your stereotypes of what a wrestler should be, and they don't give a shit. They cannot be governed. So even though Naito is a Japanese superstar, he plays heel and he talks in Spanish. Because fuck you, that's why. And then you have Bushi, who is a Japanese wrestler, but he wears a mask and he wrestles like a Mexican luchador, right? Why? Because fuck you, that's why. And then you have Evil, who's like this powerhouse dude, but he dresses like the fucking the Grim Reaper, and he has the pickaxe and the hood, and it's purple, and he wears fucking makeup on his face, and it doesn't make any sense with the other rest of the group. So it's like, why are you even there? And the answer is because they can't be governed, and because fuck you, that's why. And I think that is a great group and great personalities. So I'm a huge Naito fan. Kyle O'Reilly has always been impressive in Red Dragon, so I think they're going to impress. Potential for 5 stars. Michael Elgin and Tanahashi versus Okada and Moose. I'm a huge Michael Elgin fan. I like Moose's personality. I like that everybody's like Moose, or whatever. And I mean, Tanahashi and Okada is probably the best rivalry of the last 10 years. So I get to watch that live, and I can't explain how excited I am. Even if all I get to see is Okada's dropkick, that's the price of admission. Right there. That is the price of admission. So I'm very happy for that. Ichi versus Bobby Fish. Ishi's like one of my favorite in the world right now. The matches that he had with Shibata are the stuff of a legend. The guy's a powerhouse. He's a beast. He does the Steiner screwdriver, if you guys can recall, but he doesn't do it often. Bobby Fish is the other half of Red Dragon, so I'm interested to see how he acts as a singles competitor. I've heard a lot of good things about Kyle O'Reilly as well, so I'm also interested to see how he acts. But I've heard more good things about O'Reilly than of Fish. I'm wondering if this match with Ichi and Bobby Fish is going to be New Japan style, or if it's going to be more American style. If it's American style, I will still enjoy it, very much so. I have no problem with American style. But if it's strong style, if they go New Japan style, then I'm liable to lose my voice in how much I'm going to mark. It's really up to them. It's up to Ishii and Fish. I've seen Ishii in so many strong style matches. I don't need to see him in another. It would be great to see it live, but you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't owe me anything. Same goes for Bobby Fish. They don't owe me anything. If they put on an American style match, I'll still be very happy, very content with it. And they can still put out a 5-star, even if it's an American style match. I saw Ishii work with Roderick Strong in Japan a few months ago, and I thought that was like close to a 5, like as close to a 5 as you can get. And that was a very American style match. And then Ishii afterwards was like, is that the best ROH has? You're going to have to bring more than that, which was like a pretty good promo, solidified him as a badass, and made me excited for this match between Fish and Ishii. Hopefully Bobby Fish can hang, but I mean, it's tough because Ishii is Ishii. Then we got the Briscoes versus War Machine. Now, I've never seen War Machine live. This is a tag team title match. And I am a little upset that we don't get to watch Roppongi Vice. I was really hoping to watch some Roppongi Vice, but it's still the Briscoes. I still consider them one of my favorite tag teams of the last 10 to 20 years. The guys are incredible. Not so much their personas and the stuff that they tweet. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little more open-minded about things, and I don't necessarily agree with the stuff that they tweet and things of that sort, but they're great in the ring, and I can't take that away from them. So as far as how they are as human beings, I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's not my, like, who gives a shit? You know, that's not my fucking prerogative. That's not what I care about. What I care about is that they can work in the ring, and they're really good wrestlers. So I look forward to the match. I think they'll entertain me. You know, that's what it comes down to. And, you know, they didn't do anything illegal. You know, they just expressed some ideas that I wouldn't agree with. And then finally, Colt Cabana versus Jay Lethal. I mean, what can you say? It's Colt Cabana versus Jay Lethal. You know what I mean? We're in Chicago. Colt Cabana's from Chicago.
Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing?
And it's going to be off the charts. I'm very excited. I expect the crowd to be red hot for that one. Jay Lethal is a superhero right now, and Colt Cabana is the hometown hero. So that one can be off the charts as far as the crowd reaction. I may lose my voice for that one. It's going to be a spectacle. Jay Lethal's running like his version of Flair in the 80s. I can't wait.
That's my line! That's my line! That's
So this Sunday,